heavy on your mind, I know a place we can go. Sit back and unwind, grab a seat, put up your feet and do let's go mine. Ask her anything. She has a certain flair for being tough but always fair. So if you need someone who cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. He will do it. Ask Alma. Time for viewing. Ask Alma.
Hello, 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 hello. I'm trying not to absolutely explode on the screen. Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Oh my gosh, it's been like what? 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I have not seen y'all for 2 weeks. What is going on? What is going on? I missed y'all. You know it. I missed y'all. But got to give props and shout outs of thank you to my favorite nieces. Oh my goodness. Don't they hold this bad boy down? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I am so grateful. Courtney, Leah. Thank y'all. Y'all so sweet. I'm so proud of y'all. It was a fantastic 2 weeks. I wasn't able to watch the show live, but I did watch it later because you guys know if you don't get a chance to watch it live, you can watch it later. And it was really, really, really good. I laughed. I enjoyed it. I had a fantastic time. I hope everybody who watched it too. And I just thank y'all. Thank y'all so, so much. So I hope y'all can handle things for me again when I go celebrate the big 6-0 because you know your girl is turning 60. Yes. I can't believe it. 60. Like I thought I was turning another age that I won't mention until, you know, my BFF Dee, she always got to remind me what it is. So she was like, oh no, girl, you are turning 60. What? So yes. I will be in Hawaii with my family celebrating my 60th birthday. Come on in here and say hello to me. Hello, because I really did miss y'all terribly. Mary Lou, where are you, girl? Karen, I hope you are watching. Gail, what is going on? Are you on here? Let me know. Say hello. Tracy, Demeen, all the cousins, Dina, Angie, Donna, Dana, all of y'all, Chrissy. Come on there, y'all watching. Clarice, what you doing? I hope you on here. Yeah. DeSheryl, I know you on here and I need you to send me that video. It did not come through. Okay, let's try it again. We're going to have to do it until we get it right. Yes. All my almond joys. Come on in here and say hello to me so I can say hello back to you. And while I am waiting to hear from all of you, I am going to bring in, hi Gail, how are you? Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. Sean, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. How y'all doing? We got a great show. Y'all, we got a great show. You know we do. And we're going to have such a good time. I was working, so I couldn't be here. I was actually at NABJ in Birmingham, Alabama. Yes. I was in the Big B. Dion, oh my goodness, I miss you so much. We need to go somewhere and eat and talk and laugh. So we got to work that out. Okay, don't forget. Birmingham was nice. I had never been there, although my husband is from Alabama. I had been to other parts of Alabama, but that was actually my first time in Birmingham. No, we were not in Montgomery. We weren't over there. We were in Birmingham, which was a lot of fun, a lot of good food. NABJ had a huge participation And it was, I think, like 3,500 people there. So luckily, I'm back without COVID. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, I do not have COVID, and I'm good. Doug, hey now, how you doing? Oh my goodness, all my friends. Thank y'all, because I was a little bit nervous today. I haven't been on, haven't been doing my thing, haven't been hanging out with y'all. And it was like, oh my goodness, my hand is shaking. What am I gonna say? But here y'all are, and I'm feeling the love. Feeling the love. Let me tell you, Lee Ivory. I hope you watching. So come on in here, panel. Before I get carried away with my friends, come on in here and say hello to us. Dee Dee.
I'm having, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm having severe technical difficulties in my studio over here. So I'm like, okay, I'm already looking up my nose. Like, what is happening? So I'm trying to adjust properly.
Did you notice? Like, I kept it going before I called you in here because I'm ready for you.
I appreciate that because it was a mess going on over here. So I'm here.
Keesha, Ken.
Hey y'all.
How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Thanks for having us. I am so glad.
Alma, you came in with the energy, like
that's what being aware do. That's what being aware do.
I know. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the secret. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the secret. I was a little bit nervous, wasn't sure, how it was going to be. Although, oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. I shouldn't be nervous, but I'm nervous like every week. Dee knows. I'm like, oh my goodness. But hey, Mary Mata, we are so glad you're joining us. Oh my, you talk about long friends.
Wow, Mary, that's
I know, Mary, we have to have you as a guest on the panel. That would be fantastic. But I got to tell you, hey, Tracy, I was nervous, but I was really glad it was you two. Like, I didn't have to worry about my panel, my guests. You know what I mean? Like, you two are regulars. Come on here. We always have a fantastic time laughing and having a great time visiting with each other. So that part, I was not worried about at all. So thank you both.
We got you.
I know. I know. And that is so fantastic. So before we get going, it was 2 things I wanted to say. One, I have already, don't age us, Alma. I know, right? 25, 26? How old are we? Or how long have we known each other?
You can have that, but I don't want to go back that far. I don't go back that far.
Yes. I will reach out to you. Email me at alwaysaskalma@gmail.com. And anybody with questions, of course, email me at alwaysaskalma@gmail.com. But Mary, send me an email with your phone number on it so I can reach out to you. I would love to have you on the panel. I would absolutely love to have you on the panel. So you guys, before we get started, do y'all like my necklace? My granddaughter Ava made my necklace. Thank you, Ava.
Beautiful.
And it says, you can do it. She tells me that all the time, though, which is hilarious. You can do it, Grandma. I go, okay, girl. I think maybe I can. So thank you, Ava, for my necklace. I really love it. And I want to say thank you to the nieces, Dee Dee. Y'all did a good job. They did a good job, I think. You were on here with them. And I think Courtney and Leah did a fantastic job.
Like, that was 7 days ago. I'm struggling.
7 and 14 days ago.
I'm like, yes, indeed. I don't know what she's talking about. Like,
thank y'all for holding it down. So it's 50 years of hip hop. I want to throw that out there to y'all y'all might be babies and not remember when it started. Although I remember when it started.
I said to someone that I was older than hip hop, and I was like, "Oh wait, I'm telling you to say that to anybody else, right?"
Something about that. Although I'm telling you, I was driving to work. HUR was playing the way backs. Did y'all hear? I don't know. I know somebody had to hear it besides me. They were like playing the beginning with the Sugar Hill Gang. Okay, so. I'm in the car. I got the music turned up, and I'm
doing
telling you,
85 on S
I
Street.
am throw down dancing, right? Because you know I could chair dance like nobody's business since I wasn't standing up. I mean, I'm working it, right? So I look over, and it's a woman in the car next to me because of rush hour traffic. We weren't going that fast. She was like, because I guess she thought
She wasn't know she needed to call an ambulance and you was having a seizure or something.
You're supposed to join in.
Do I need to help her?
You're supposed to get in there with you.
Yeah. Tell her, put it on HUR. Just tell her what station to put it at.
When you're in traffic that's not moving, you roll your windows down and turn your music up. So
That's what you do. Everybody can listen. Everybody can listen.
Everybody.
It was really like it was Sugar Hill guy. It was all of the raps before all the stuff was added to it. And it was quite refreshing, actually. And very, very nice to hear and sing along. It was so wonderful. I want to figure out how to get in touch with them, maybe to do a like just a track that I could use for working out, because I really did feel 20 years younger while I was listening to it. Like
I'm sure there's one probably on Sirius or one of the other
like
Spotify one, and I'm sure there's a hip hop 50 anniversary.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Hey Frank. Frank is watching us. Frank. Hey now. I love him. Hey you guys, tell me before we get started, what was one of your favorite hip hop songs? Like they even, what else? They played, remember the guy had the long nose?
Humpty?
Girl, why did they play Humpty?
Digital Underground.
Why did they play Humpty? It's like, what?
Yes.
Like, it was so good. That was one of my favorites, I think. What's one of you guys?
I don't know the names of songs. I could sing every word. I could, I don't know who sings them or what they're called, but I could, if I heard it, I'm like, oh yeah, and I could sing every word of it. But I don't.
Right. Kyrene is in Canada. Hey girl. Hey. I'm so glad you are watching. Oh my gosh, it means the world to us. It really, really does. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Mary Lou here. Mary Lou, how you doing? Mary Lou, do you even know what your favorite hip hop song is, Mary Lou? Put it in the chat.
One song though.
Mary Lou was hanging with us the last 2 weeks. She was right there with us.
So like when I was growing up, my mother was definitely younger than her years, but she had like Cool Mo D and Heavy D on vinyl.
Yes.
Vinyl.
Yes.
Like
I did too.
Playing the records.
Listen, my mother, we got her, I think it was the 12-inch of These Are the Breaks. She just liked that song. And it got to the point my brother was like, we have got to get rid of that album. We gotta hide it, break it, scratch it, something, because it was on every day.
Right.
I love it.
That and I'll Take Your Man by Salt and Pepper.
Right. Yes.
What is happening here?
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's what I was gonna say. So, I don't really do it by songs. It's almost like groups, and everything. So you kind of had your favorites. Salt and Pepper was one of them, growing up. And I just remember my roommate in college, he used to play that like all the time, every song. And I was learning all these songs that I never, the B-sides kind of. He was playing all this other cool stuff, and I was like, okay, I like that. But I remember, like in grade school, back to the Sugar Hill games and stuff. That was when we would just sit in class, and then somebody would start, singing or rapping, and everybody else would join in, and just start, because everybody knew that song. It was kind of crazy, but that's how it was, and everybody knew it. They just join in and go for it, the whole class.
Absolutely. Y'all remember Houdini? I wanted to marry him.
My uncle used to play Houdini I was way too
Oh my gosh, I loved Houdini. I loved Houdini. I loved the big guy. I wanted to marry him too.
Which one?
Heavy D?
Heavy D. Yeah.
Heavy D.
Heavy D.
Mary
Mata said Cypress Hill. Yes, Insane in the Membrane.
Okay, Mary.
Oh my goodness. Just that's like thinking about it put such a smile on your face. It's so fantastic.
Nice.
Keesha, tell your parents Snoop Dogg.
my husband.
Jai.
Okay, so so Snoop's first album, and even Dr. Dre's first album, The Chronic, they sample a lot of Parliament, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And my mother and my godmother were the quintessential George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic fans. Like they knew every song, they knew it all. And so when Snoop came out, his first song, his first single off that album, he sampled Atomic Dog.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Right,
yeah,
right.
oh,
So my mom was like, I need some new workout music to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I said I wanted Snoop's new album. Okay, so I was 13.
Okay.
When that came out. So my mother bought it, dubbed it. She didn't know what was on it. I don't know if y'all have ever heard Doggy Style.
Yeah.
But it's not for the children, y'all. It's not
for the children.
No, no.
It's not. And so she gave it to me. Like, and I'm like, I got the coolest mom ever. And then she had her little dub. Remember, you could dub the tapes. And she put it in her little Walkman and was almost fell off the treadmill. And she heard. But by then I had been in head for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I would do that backwards and forwards. And when I say that's some problematic music that I still rock to this day.
For sure.
I had that happen with Akon.
She almost passed out.
My son came home. I had that happen with
gosh.
Akon. He came home with the clean version of "I'm locked up and they won't let me out" or something like one of the songs Akon sings. And then I heard the other version because he had gotten the music from his dad. And he's in his room playing the song, and I was like, wait, what is that? What is that? I'm like ripping the thing out of the machine.
That's right. Oh my
Whenever
gosh.
they sample music, you have to be really careful about what you're going to get.
Yes. I like that, Michael. He said we got to do the karaoke next time. You know it. Ronaldo and Gary are on here. Hey now. Those are Mary Lou's brothers. She got the whole fam on here tonight.
The whole family.
Thank y'all. And all our newbies, Mary, and everybody else who's watching for the first time. Let me let you know how this works. So every Tuesday at 7, I call my friends and ask them to log on with me. That's pretty much what we do. And then we listen to 3 questions that were submitted to the Ask Alma column, and we offer our advice. So we love for y'all to chime in. Let us know what you think. Add-ons are accepted and encouraged. So first off, we have to do a disclaimer. So let's hear the disclaimer.
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
Lori Grant, thank you. Lori is our voice actress, and she does our questions for us. So y'all ready to get started? We got some good ones. I was pleased at what came across this week. So let's get started with question number 1.
Hello, Alma and panelists, and hello to your audience. I'm Lori Grant, tonight's voiceover recording artist. I have the pleasure of reading our questions for the evening. So, here we go. Hey, Alma. I asked my cousin who has a contracting company to help me renovate my kitchen. He said yes, and I was thrilled. Fast forward, 3 days in, he gave me an invoice with an estimate that was the same as what I was given by another contractor. Forgive me, but I'm livid. He and I grew up together, and our parents were always there to help one another. We were all very close. My husband says he has the right to give me an honest estimate, and I say he should offer me a family discount. Now, I don't want him to do the work, and I'm ready to cut ties with him altogether. What's your take? Should family give family a discount?
You know how that can be. Family start a business, family do something. Another family wants you to come in and take care of something for them. I'm gonna start out. I'm not gonna tell you guys what my answer is. I'll wait and hear what each one of you have to say. But I honestly have to say I do believe in family discounts. I just do. So, Keesha, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that if he wanted to give a family discount and he offered that, that is wonderful. But it should not be something that is expected. She not over there paying his bills.
Right.
We don't know what his family situation is. We don't know what his financial situation is. And I think as family, the one thing that we need to do is learn how to support each other and to you know what I mean, to build each other up, to pour in instead of always taking and taking and taking and taking. He's going to go to the next person and make that amount of money because he still has things to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes we give a little discount. Sometimes we might do a little something. I can tell you one example. I have a very, very, very good friend who is like family. She is our chosen family. She is one of our people. I'm closer to her than I am to some people who are my blood. And she does amazing baking. Mm-hmm. She's a baker. She does cookies, cakes. It takes artwork to design all that stuff. And every time I follow the rules. You want me to put in an order online? I'll put an order in online. You need a deposit? I offer it. She might say, I don't need no deposit. I'm offering it every time because I respect her. I respect her craft. This lady isn't going up to the job, and because she's cool with her boss, gonna be cool with $20, $200, $500 coming out of her check because they cool and he having a good day. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, you should. And here's the thing. It's okay if you expect it, but to cut a family member off or something like
because
that
of it,
it's real extra.
Right.
That's wild. That's real wild.
Right. So, Kim, what would you do?
Yeah, at the end of the day, he has a business to run, and I think again, I think I saw Pat or somebody comment that you have to talk about this up front, basically, and we don't know how the conversation went, but it's kind of like, hey, whoever your family member is, such and such gave me this quote for this type of work. Here's the price. What do you think? That go to them for kind of their advice. Would you be able to do something like this for a better price?
Thank you, Thor.
And that's the kind of thing, respect his business, understand that if it's a good family member, people, you coming to me for business advice, I will help you, first of all, by talking about this price, and then go from there. But you cannot expect it.
She said she expected it.
I mean, like she's like, again, remember, he just like that. He has a business to run, and you're trying to get a discount, and that's great. And somewhere along the way, most people, like I said, will cut you a break. But if you come in demanding, expecting, and all that, then you kind of taking the family element. You kind of taking the family element out of it already. Right. So, but they will, somewhere along the way, most people like, okay, I need this up front, this front. Mm-hmm. Maybe he will not want everything totally up front, allow you to pay a certain way or whatnot, whatever that might be, to where he can find you a discount on certain parts and material. He can help her in some kind of way, but demanding it up front, she just kind of takes away all of her advantages with the family members. So,
because she's like ready to cut him off.
Yeah. And
that part is the crazy part, is the cutting off. Like, just from the other side, like their family. So, I mean, it's his business, and I absolutely respect that he can charge what he wants. He could have come at her a little differently and said, I can't do this any cheaper than the estimates that you got already. Yeah. Or I might be able to do this for a couple of $100 less, but I really can't. I mean, I really can't go below that. But they hit her with the estimate that was identical to the estimate. I'm sure she had already said that to him.
Right.
So he could have said, look, cuz this is a big job. I really need to charge you what everyone else is, materials are high or whatever, like sort of soften this family blow. And certainly cutting him off because he won't, do the job.
Yeah. And see, I was going to say, she might be a Virgo. We cut people off.
but the issue with having a family member do it is if it's not done the way you want it, then you don't really have any, recourse. You're what are you gonna do? Like now, like this connect yourself to grandma and everybody else because the job is jacked up. So you're better off just hiring somebody that you don't know. So if you have to go through legal rounds or whatever, you can do that.
Yeah.
And also, if she had that audacity, she probably been carrying that spirit of audacity her whole life.
Her whole life, right? I got that too, Keesha.
Yeah. And he like, nah, I'm not. This is how much,
right? And this is what you need to pay me.
She's been walking around feeling entitled to that family discount on a whole bunch of stuff.
Right. And probably had a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff, but some things done for free within the family. Like I had a cousin lay carpet, and I was like, I can pay you half and send you the other half. And he was literally doing the job in my house. And he said, and I knew he had done work for other people in the family because that's how I found out. They were like, don't you know so-and-so does it? I was like, I didn't know he laid carpet. And he was like, I've never been paid. If you send me money, you would be the first person in the family to pay me for laying carpet. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. I couldn't even imagine.
Nice.
But
he kept coming, so clearly it didn't bother him that much. Like, he kept doing it. He'd have been everybody's house and didn't get paid. So.
Right. He is very loving and very caring. And he is one of my favorites. And he actually watches the show. Hey.
Did he accept your money?
No, and I sent it to him.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Richard. Richard joined us, and so did Thor. Hey, how y'all doing? I think Sharon is with us now. How are you? So I'm right there with you guys, but I do believe in family discounts. Like, I'm not saying it has to be a lot.
Offered family discounts is different than you demanding it.
Yeah, I wouldn't demand it.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it should be, 10%. Something could be shaved off for the family.
Because why you're saying why ask the family member if it's not going to benefit you?
Ain't gonna get
Yeah. Because going in. That's what
I'm gonna pay full price. I might as well just go over there and get Mr. Johnson to do it.
Exactly. Who gonna pull up his pants and gonna be on time? Because
See, look, 9 times out of 10, I'll go ahead and go with Mr. Johnson. Just
instead of a family member.
We don't have to wait. No question. We know we're getting.
I had some good work done in my house with our cousin Jerry. He was really good. He did a great job. He originally said, hey, whatever you want to give me is fine. Because, you hear that a lot. Whatever you want to give me is fine. But he did a fantastic job, and we paid him. And I miss him, actually. He is in heaven. Hi, Alma. Come on now. Hey, I do. I expect from family. Now, I'm a Virgo, too. I can cut you off. But I don't think this lady should.
No,
should cut her family member off. No, I think, we don't want to say to her, your husband is right, because I think that's something else that she doesn't like to hear very often. So let's just say, pay your family member what they deserve. What'd you say, Keesha?
Her husband's right.
Right. He is. Your husband is right, girl. This time your husband is right. Barbranda, I think, was one of the co-authors of a prayer book. Barbranda, if you could put that information on the chat, I would appreciate it very, very much. Put it in the chat because I would like to order mine. Mr. Gill says, look at him.
He's fighting.
You know what, Keesha? He was watching your family comment, so he commented because out of 2 years, Gil has commented 3 times on his show. I am so glad he is watching. Yes. That was fantastic, y'all. I think that was pretty good because we all kind of are on the same path. Like, lighten up on your cousin. Don't be trying to get on your husband's case for being on the side of your cousin.
Right.
And support.
And don't badmouth his work because he won't do it for you.
That's right.
Support Black businesses.
Right. Support your cousin, girl.
And you might need him later for something else.
Right.
You never know.
Come how that back over. Out. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic. Let's listen to the next question for the evening.
Dear Alma, I've been married for coming up on 3 years now. We are a blended family, and we all live together. Our oldest daughter, she's 12, is my husband's daughter, and our 2 sons, 10 and 7, are mine. Here's my problem. My husband clearly favors his daughter, So much so, he'll bring home something special for her and not the boys. Here's an example. We recently took a trip to a well-known theme park. Once we arrived, he announced that he bought fast passes, which are very expensive, for him and his daughter. That meant me and my boys had to stand in line without them because they, with fast passes, were escorted to the front of the line for every ride. To me, this was the last straw. I have tried and tried. How can I get him to realize he has to treat all the kids the same? We are now one big happy family.
At the beginning of this, it hesitated. She said, I've been married for coming up on 3 years now. So they've been married for 3 years. The husband obviously is really, really, really paying special attention to his daughter. And the boys are feeling a bit neglected. So what is our advice?
I was okay with, he spends, gives his daughter extra time because she's the only girl in the house and all of that, and living with her father as opposed to her mother, and we don't know the circumstances. But when it got to he bought the fast pass just for her.
Okay.
That's like uber petty.
Okay, because he didn't leave just the boys, he left his wife.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's when I started thinking there's way more to this than this little trip to the theme park or their experience together. Something else is going on.
Yeah. Or is he that oblivious?
Yeah. No. Well, you can't be a blended family at home and then be a separate family else.
It doesn't really sound like they're that blended at home.
They're not blended. Yeah. So she's saying they're blended, but you can't be one way. If you want to, as a 12-year-old, she's older, your daughter, you want to take her out and do something special with her.
Right.
As her father and everything, to where that's just you all's time. Great.
Yeah.
But you cannot do that in front of them. I mean, just like we'll see y'all later.
Right.
We're gonna get on the rides. We're gonna get on the rides, and we'll see y'all when you get off. We go do something else. You just can't. You can't do that. Whether you're blended, whatever kind of family, even when you're with your
That's
group.
Like saying, Alma, Josh has always been an only child. He's brought friends home. That's like you would never not include the friend. Yeah, and you didn't even know that child. So if it was somebody that you married, you couldn't possibly.
No way.
If that couldn't be an accident.
No. Right. No. And I'm wondering
that way.
Yeah, because I'm thinking and I, didn't ask about this, but I understand when, right, Pat, that's what I was getting ready to say. When, there's a split up and one parent wants to be the parent that you like a little bit more, or, getting married to this woman, they've been married for 3 years. Maybe they got married pretty quickly. I don't know what he's trying to do with the daughter, but in any case, if you have come together, you have to become one family. You have to become one family. And you have to be able to do that and do it in a way that you are an example to the children. Anything else is unacceptable. And I think, like Pat, to the point that Pat brought up, even if he's trying to be the favorite to the daughter, that's not the way to do it. No. That is absolutely not the way to do it, because not only is he neglecting his wife's children, he is neglecting his wife. Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Down there in that heat, in that long hot line, and y'all went through the ride 3 times, and we still standing here for
Right. And a surprise? That's not a surprise.
Right, he didn't do it in advance and say, well, I'm going to buy passes. You want to buy passes too? Like, they could have planned for that. Yeah. He gets to the park and says, oh, by the way, we have passes. Deuces, we'll see you at the car.
We out.
It's just.
See now.
So what was even the point?
But I think people together.
That's saying why you go as a family, but then you do that. So it seems like they just. I mean, there's a lot of. I won't even say miscommunication. There's some things that need to be talked about.
Right.
It takes time for families to kind of feel each other out, but something as blatant as that, that's
families. blended families are complicated anyway. And I think when people get married, they don't spend as much time talking about how that's going to work as they do. Oh, we're in love, so we can get married, and then we'll throw the kids in. And that is absolutely not how it's going to work well. And this guy seems to be, you know,
like Michael said, see you when I see you.
Right.
We out.
That car ride must have been super long because
I would have left him. I don't know. I would not have left the daughter, but I would have asked him to go back in and check and see if they picked up something that belonged to me. And when he walked out, we would be gone. And she could argue all the way down the street about, where's my dad? I'm gonna tell you where your daddy at. Because
they could have just gone and bought fast passes for the children. They could have just fixed it. It isn't something that was impossible. I mean, they weren't hopping on a plane to Paris. They could have gone and gotten. He could have gone and got. Oh, even if it was a mistake, even if it was he was just not thinking about it. At that point, he could have said, "Well, we know that's not true, Keesha, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he did not intentionally exclude these children." At that point, he could have gone and bought 2 more passes.
There's 5 people in that family. He know how many people in his family live under his roof.
Yeah,
he knows it's 5 people.
Right.
2 adults and 3 children. Right. He knows what 2 plus 3 is 5.
You live that's right. You live every day as a blended family. You can't just go through all of a sudden out of a select event. So.
And somebody was saying, one of our producers said, like, what is the dynamic with the boys? Good or bad? You can't just separate your daughter from all 3.
You agreed to be in this situation. All right. You voluntarily came into this situation. So you can't pick and choose.
No, you cannot.
How you treat everybody. No.
Mm-hmm. I remember when my first marriage, he had a daughter, and I can remember my mother saying to me, I was very young, I was 22, and we didn't have kids, but my mother told me early on, you need to establish a relationship with her that has nothing to do with her father. Your love, your support, how you treat her, what you do for her cannot be connected to the love that you have for her father. Because that's going to go up and down like a heartbeat. You're going to love them tomorrow, can't stand them the next day. It's going to be all over the place because that's what happens in marriages. So you make sure that you establish a relationship with her strictly based on the 2 of you, which honestly, I do have to say, I didn't quite get it when she was saying it. And it did make sense to me more as time went by. But I don't think I would have ever purposely separated her or excluded her from anything that we were doing. It's just I think it's well worth a serious conversation. This is not a minor thing to me. Right. This is a major thing.
And it wasn't a coincidence. It was like this had to be a clearly thought out.
Yeah.
But that was just one example.
Right. I would like to see what else. I would like to hear. There's more.
Well, it's not even the act, it's the act and the deception, because he bought those passes knowing that they were going to go in 3 weeks or a month or whenever. And then oh, by the way, we have these passes. So there's a lot going on there.
And her, for example, so that is there are multiple.
So what was her question was, should she?
She said, I've tried and tried. How can I get him to realize he has to treat all the kids the same? We are one big, happy, blended family. He should know that. You should not have to teach him anything. Number one, he should know that.
Yeah, that's a bigger issue in their marriage that has to do with their union. Like you said. And first of all, that wasn't established before they got married. She saw that before they got married, but she wanted a husband.
Girl, let us just say.
Well, someone just said, "Where's the boy's father?" And couldn't they have contributed? Sure, they could have. They would have had to ask.
Right.
They would have had to ask for that to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
But
he would have had to be honest with it. But
right.
again, this is one example, which is like
just one, right?
Just one. And I've got to fit.
But she said this is the last straw. She said something like, what did she say? She said, so this is, you're right, Keesha. This isn't the first time that he's done something that excluded the kids.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
and
that's
in a way, this is almost a deal breaker. Like if you can't come together as a family, then you don't have a family unit.
Right.
Regardless of how
you don't have my kids back. If you don't have my kids back, then you don't have my back.
You don't have my back.
Then what are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing? And she really has to, look at this.
Therapy.
And therapy, because if he can't adjust and understand, although I'm with Pat a little bit on this, I think it's a little bit of him trying to be the more fun parent, but he has to look at the whole picture, not like.
I mean, she could see that she could have lost a parent. Her mother may not longer be with us, so he may be trying to overcompensate for the absent mother. But that still doesn't. That still doesn't. Allow him to ignore the other children.
That's right. Yeah. Then you're not a fun parent. And like I said, if he wants to do something time to time separate with her and treat her special, then you go right ahead. But as a responsible man leading your household, you have two. I don't care whether you're yours or not. You have two boys. And they deserve everything. All the respect and love that she gets, and you have to find a way to make it work. So if you can't do that, then there's a real big problem, and they need to have a serious discussion, as we said. So
thank you, Ken.
Will he still be at the park? Alma would have left him at the park.
Yeah, he'd be at the park still.
Still be at
walking around looking for her.
Where they at? Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Ken. I'm gonna wrap up right there, man to man. Right. Listen to what Mr. Washington said to you.
Man up.
There you go. Yes. Okay, you guys, here is, hi, Aster. That's my niece. Here's the last question of the evening. Let's hear it.
Dear Alma, I am a single mom with one son. He has been amazing, and I've never really had any trouble out of him. He was an excellent student, great in high school, went to college on a full-ride academic scholarship, and graduated with honors. I could not be more proud. And that's where it ends. Since graduation last December, all he has done is hang around the house and play video games all day and night. He has absolutely no interest in getting a job, and I just don't understand it. I have talked to him repeatedly and suggested job opportunities, and he says he's not interested. He's 25 and old enough to go out into the world and make a living, but he hasn't, which means he has nothing to contribute to our living expenses. I'm at my wit's end. Do you have any suggestions for me to get across to my son? It's time for him to grow up.
You know what, you guys, to recap real fast, this is a mom whose son has been fantastic, graduated from college, had an academic scholarship, and basically now has found himself in the basement playing video games and has no interest to do anything else. Now, the other thing I want to add to this is I have received this email more than one time about sons. I'm not saying the daughters aren't doing it too, but there seems to be a number of sons who have just given up already or kind of like checked out already and are basically playing video games all day and don't feel like they need to go out and do much of anything else. So what kind of advice do we have for this mother? Because it seems like her son was on the right track and had everything in his favor that he had worked very hard to accomplish. Yeah.
I think he had a goal in all those years. He had sort of, something to work towards. And then when that happened, he didn't have the next goal. And probably as a single mom, that's what she was encouraging. But they didn't have, it doesn't sound like he had any encouragement after, you get your degree and then what?
Right. So finish college, go to college,
what happens after that. And maybe not, just not having any role models around that, could really show him what happens next. But when you were reading the letter, my first question was, he was sitting around the house playing video games. My first thought was, whose house?
Hers. Right. He is at her house.
And I know, we've had lots of conversations about being, always being your parent and always supporting your child and not kicking them out and all that kind of stuff. But at this point in his life, he needs to get something going. And maybe he needs to have some kind of group organization, mentor, something that can help him get him off of that couch and moving.
25.
But you know what though? This that age, they don't have the same sense of urgency that we had.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things, it wasn't as difficult for them as it was for us growing up. Not saying that our childhoods were all, trauma and everything, but they don't have to that same get up and go. That same let's
they don't have that.
Yeah.
I think that, as an educator, I think it really just depends on your environment, because for everyone have that, there are some that do. Yeah. And you're right, there isn't a sense of urgency, but unfortunately, I think because our generation struggled to have it, we have been a little lenient on the expectation and really just to be able to provide. Lots of parents, you hear parents, I want to give my kids everything I didn't have. Like my mother said, I don't want to give you anything. I want you to aspire to those things, but I'm not giving you if I give you everything I ever had, how do you value that?
Yeah. I also wondered about how our kids are growing up, because they are all connected to an electronic device. Like that, it becomes their friend. It becomes, how they socialize. And I wondered if that played a part in it. Has he, even when he was in high school and in college doing very well, did he have friends then? Or was he, the kind of son who came home? She said he didn't, give her any trouble whatsoever. But I mean, a lot of kids now, they have an online name. And that, that is how they communicate.
Some of them have online personalities. They have entire influence and all kinds of things where.
Yeah, that's very different from us. We did interact with each other. We
real
had
people.
We
interviewed with real humans outside, in social settings, and their social setting is inside in the comfort of their space.
Yeah, but you still got to go to work.
But he went to college, so he had to have some connection.
Yeah, I mean,
but that book learning is not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. And I mean, you think as a parent, you're kind of helping set up that whole environment for college, and they don't see the bill, and they just go to they're in school and they don't see all of that happening in the back, all the work that's going in that. They're just doing what they do, go to class, hang out, study, whatever doing, go to the caf, whatever they do. But what I'm seeing is what you guys kind of hit on it, that it's taking longer for kids to launch these days for different reasons. The video games, I'm thinking about the phone. I'm thinking about it's just like there's this comfort level with just kind of relaxing and just taking it easy and not being able to get out the house. Dee said something that was important. He probably needs some sort of mentor, to kind of give him a different perspective. I just don't think he knows how to launch right now or really wants to explore it, because see, some people don't want to take the next step, like my daughter's just finishing high school, and all of them some of them are in college now, but they're looking back, especially after the pandemic and everything. They kind of are like, well, we kind of want to stay in high school. They're like, we don't want to start shopping for college because that's gonna make it real. And those are their exact like a lot of her friends, knowing that they're gonna have to make the next move, but they don't really want to or know how to launch. They're a little apprehensive about it. Yeah. And we're showing them, but it's harder now than it was then. I mean,
well, they all live well too. I mean, if
great.
I mean, your children live pretty well, so they're like, well, why would I give up this?
Yeah. There's nowhere to go.
Where I have to share a room.
Y'all seen the price of
groceries?
Yeah. But I know groceries going.
Eggs.
So my question is, I know he has a phone. So who's paying the cell phone?
All of that. The mama, the electricity,
I mean, he has video games.
Right.
Who's paying? But you know he has a phone. So who's paying that bill if he doesn't have a job? But I just think there, my son, a long time, he was in middle school. He asked my wife, he says, Mom, do I have to leave when I finish school, and everything? He said, do I have to leave? Can I just stay here? And she's like, you can stay here as long as you want to. But there was a but, but. You have to have a job. You have to contribute.
Right.
She, even at that age, she kind of just hit on a few little topics. But she said, as a support system, you all alluded to it earlier. We support our kids. We try to give them as much as we can. We try to help them be prepared to buy a house, whatever. Help them be prepared so they don't go out there with much of nothing to survive and everything. Right. But she said, you stay as long as you want to, but you have to work and contribute and be doing the things you need to do. Because like you guys said, I left here, I left college, and the next day I was on my way to work. I left college and I was going and
had a job.
Some of us were working before the college even ended.
Yeah. And
I think speaking for this mother, I think there's some comfort in having a son who isn't in the street. So I think that she had it was very comfortable for her to have him, home, being a good guy, playing. Oh, he's home playing video games. I don't have to worry about him being someplace where he could be hurt. So she sort of contributed to this.
That's what Michael Oliver is saying now. Some of that is on her for coddling him so much. Yeah. You're right, Michael. Because I told my son, I told my son, you guys know who I love dearly and had lost so many children. By the time I had Josh, I was one of those crazy mothers, and everybody knows that. But I said to Josh, when you finish high school, you have two choices. You can go to college or you can join the military. Like, here are your choices: to be downstairs in the basement, which you have done for the last 4 years that you were in high school.
Yeah, that's
what he was doing. That is not a choice.
Yeah, A and B.
Once you graduate, you get one or the other.
She said she gave her son a year at home, rent free, and he left the day before the year was up, and knock on wood, still on his own, and he's 31 now. There has to be a plan. There has to be some goal. Like, you don't want to just boot your kids out, especially this young man who hasn't done anything since he graduated. You don't want to just open the door and kick them out, but they still have, because what happens when she's gone?
Right.
Pat said
Pat said he needs a safety net. There'll always be a safety net, but not a hammock. That might end up in my column. I like that, Pat.
I like that.
I might have to use that. Yeah, a safety net is fine, but not a hammock. Absolutely. And you have to be able to do that and not feel guilty to the mom. You have to lay down some rules and regulations and not feel guilty for pushing him to become the young adult that he needs to become. Because I think a lot of times too, I hear parents, I don't know anything about this because my mother could care less if my feelings were hurt in any way ever. In my life. I mean, like, I think about it, and I've told you guys this story before, and I can laugh at it now. I told my mom, I'm going to kill myself because I just can't live with you. I hate you. I hate your rules. I cannot be in this house with you and this family. And I think I am going to kill myself. And I told y'all, I was getting in my room ready for bed. And my mama came in with a glass of water. Here goes some water for them pills you said you're going to take tonight. I just want to make sure you got everything you need for what you're getting ready to do. And I thought, is she crazy?
Yes.
And the fact that I thought she was crazy, I thought, well, I can't be crazy and take the pills too because she crazy.
So you thought you knew crazy and then you meant crazy. You was like, oh, okay, so there's something right.
But I think too.
But our generation,
did not want to be your friend. Like they.
But our generation didn't want to stay home. I tell kids now, if I knew then what I know now, I'd have stayed at my mom's house till she begged me to leave.
Right.
But like I couldn't wait to get out. Right. Like I was like 17. I was off and running. I came to DC and I was staying. I was like I had no intention of going back.
The cost of living was not the same.
Right.
But the cost of living was relative, and I had this conversation when I moved. It was relative because when I got my first job, I had to have roommates because I could not afford to live in Washington, D.C. off of what my major corporation was paying me. True, it is not as extraordinary as it is now, but it's still, and there are places you can find to live. Like that's, we can talk about that time, but relatively speaking,
it won't be what you left.
It wasn't what when I moved into my first apartment at 21, right out of school. I could not afford to be there by myself.
Yeah,
that was true then, just like it's true for them now.
Yeah,
and we have all these studies and stories that say these kids can't live on their own, so they must go home to their parents' house. There are students who who are living, or young adults who are living on their own. It's hard. I mean, you have to commit.
When I was on my own, I was short a couple of months with my portion of what the rent was supposed to be, and my parents helped me. They didn't say come back home. They said I'm gonna help you this month,
right?
But you need to work it out so this doesn't happen again. And it may have happened again, and they were there to help me, but they did not. Right?
Not
it was
it
was also. But the other thing too that I think is a little bit different. There were so many rules at my parents' house that I didn't want to live there. Like now, kids can live at home, stay out all night, girlfriend or boyfriend comes, spends the night down the basement, smoke weed, just crack the window. Like, no, all of that was not going to happen in my mom and daddy's house. Oh no, I just
no. Wasn't nobody getting none in my mom's house but her. Okay. So if you were trying to hook up with somebody, you better go find someplace else to go to, because it was not happening at.
What happened in the Reverend's house? Reverend Martin wasn't going to even no. And I told Josh when he was growing up, I know this is so crazy, but I used to tell him, I don't care what you do. Go behind the library in a car like everybody else did when they were 16. I really don't care. He was like, what?
No.
Like, you're not doing.
I needed to talk to him because I said, "Baby, nobody goes behind the library. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
You're just not doing it in my house.
Here's a couple of dollars. Go down to that Motel 6. Go behind the library." I said, any young lady that would go behind the library with you is not worth being with. Okay, so we're gonna move on from that.
Work it out. But no, like that's the other thing. Rules. Yeah. We all have rules. You have rules when you go to work. You have rules in your life for your entire life. And so my parents used to be like, you need to start learning how to live by the rules here. Like, why don't we start there?
We hear about children that lock their doors or don't allow you into their bedrooms, and they're entitled to privacy.
No privacy.
We didn't have, house did not have one interior lock. There wasn't one door in my entire house that had a lock on it. There was a lock on the front door and a lock on the back door. Mm-hmm. My mother said the door was closed. That meant you knocked before you walked in. But that was her house, and she wasn't going to be locked out of a room because I thought I should need whatever I needed. Right. There wasn't any locks, and I don't think I have lock. No, I don't think I have interior locks in my house because of that. She was like, "No, we're not doing that."
We ain't doing that. But I do want to add, because I think Mary was the first one to bring this up too. He could, have a touch of depression. That is true. And Absolutely. So, reach out, make an appointment for him to seek out a therapist. And after that, you really have to set some ground rules. You have coddled, just like Michael said, you have coddled your son all of this time. And this is what comes out of that. Yeah, and you seem to be surprised, because I think you coddled him and thought after college he would stand up and say, okay, I'm a man and I know everything I should do. No, he does not. Right. He absolutely does not. Yeah. And so, yes, this is the time
where he can make money.
Yeah. And help him, even if it's part-time. And she should, yeah,
He should be
absolutely.
contributing to the household at this point in his life.
Yes.
Because I think he'll respond. He'll respond to that, but you have to, like you said, set the rules and expect that. Because if you don't say anything and you just kind of enable him, he'll continue to live and rest in that. But once
children love structure and order and discipline. They thrive on that. So he needs that too. I know he's not a child, but he's childlike if he's in the basement playing video games. And
right. And if you would like to do something a little bit extra with that, I have always been grateful, and I've shared this story before. My mother asked me for $50 a pay period, which I was livid and said, I'm moving out of your house because I am not going to pay to live here. It took me a while. I saved my money and I moved out, and we got to my apartment and we walked in, we decorated, and she handed me a savings account book because that's what you had back then. It wasn't on your phone. And it had every dollar that I had ever given her. And she said, now you have your emergency fund. So I would suggest that.
But where would you have been able to live on $50 a month? Like, you wouldn't have been able to live anyplace else.
That's true. Yeah. But she did you a favor by asking for that $50 because it made you react and respond that, okay, I need to do something. So
and start the savings. Because I couldn't save. I was at the mall in between last day, Friday, payday, and on my way home. So it was even that part of saving and putting money to the side for an emergency. All of that I learned in that moment. But it's something going on with him, and there are a couple of layers, and it's time for you to have a good conversation with him about what it is that's holding him back. So Jai said, we hope he'll respond 25, not doing anything other than 25. The
longer that goes on, the worse it will become.
The worse that's right. Yep.
Because you know what? Because ain't no daddy gonna let you be up in his house at 29, 30. Mama might, but your daddy ain't gonna happen. So don't do him a favor.
Alma, can I have my own little disclaimer for a moment for those of you who have joined lately, who joined late? I had some technical difficulties. That's why y'all are staring up my nose right now. I promise.
We are not.
I'm looking at my head like, okay, I look like
it does not.
And you're staring up my nose.
Absolutely beautiful tonight.
Just tilt your head.
You have to say that.
Tilt your head. Just
one of these.
There you go, right there. That's perfect.
And
Mulder.
Like you taking a photo.
I tilt mine to hide my gray every Tuesday. Keesha, Ken, thank you guys so much. This is fantastic. I love when you guys are on the show.
Yeah, happy to be
Marie, Lourdes, Baden, Price, Mary Lou, and all of your family from Canada all over. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tracy, Gail, the whole crew, Sharon, Sean. I'm so glad to see y'all tonight. Thank you for joining us. And Mary Mata, it was a joy. Barbranda, it was a joy. Come back and see us next Tuesday.
The whole
I know we got the whole crew. Pat, oh my gosh, Pat has been a supporter.
Ken showed up, and they all showed up.
And the USAC group showed up. Pat Walkup has been a supporter from day one, and I am so grateful to you. Thank you. I enjoyed all of y'all. Oh my gosh, just everybody. Dion, absolutely everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you so much. And come back and see us next week, Tuesday, 7:00. Don't forget, ask Alma and email alwaysaskAlma@gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.